Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So I have another haul video for you today. Yes, I know the month of September is not even over yet. Here I go again. I am just out of control. I was thinking maybe we could call it something else. Just because haul sounds so basic and boring, I was thinking F-a-lo-bi. I feel like the energy of that phrase is much more reflective of what I'm feeling these days. Life is too short, okay? What's the point of denying ourselves any desires that we have in our very short limited time on earth? Am I right or am I right? But seriously though, one of my favorite makeup stores in the department store near my house was having a store-wide 10% off sale. You know I couldn't pass that up, alright? And that's also the reason why a lot of, or pretty much every item that I'm going to show you guys today was not planned at all. It was just a spontaneous purchase. I just picked up whatever caught my eye, but the good news is that they're all very affordable brands and products anyways, even without a discount. As always, I'm gonna show close-ups and swatches and all of that good stuff while I'm going through the items, so that hopefully this can be somewhat of a useful video or reference for you. So let's start off with my favorite brand in the entire world, Canmake. I'm being sarcastic. I got two things from Canmake. The first one being their Colorful Nails nail polish in N53. So this is one of their limited edition releases for summer 2021. This is a very affordable, long-standing drugstore nail polish brand in Japan. I used to own a lot of these, especially in the more solid colors. Formula wise, it's like really decent for the price. It's only 396 yen per bottle, including tax. A pretty amazing deal if you think about it. It's one of the few nail polish formulas, period, like whether from the drugstore or the department store, that completely dries on my nails, which is actually pretty rare for me to find. I don't know what it is about my nails in particular, if I just have abnormally oily nail beds or what, but there's just something about my nails that a lot of formulas don't work on. Like, no matter how thin of a coat I apply and how long I sit there waiting for it to dry, a lot of them just do not want to dry completely on me. I do not know what that is all about. And I've tried those little clear fast dry dropper things as well, where you squeeze a few droplets onto your nails, onto the nail polish in order to make it dry faster, but those don't really work out for me either. Or even if they do, they leave this weird white cast, like a white crusty film on top of the nail. So the polish is dried, but then I get this disgusting white crusty film all over my fingertips. It's just not, yeah, it doesn't really work out for me. But anyway, back to the Canmake Colorful Nails. So formula wise, I find that this really agrees with my nails well. If you just want like simple, straightforward, not matte, but just pure colors, like without glitters, I think their regular colors are, they look really nice. Most of their glitters and shimmers from their original lineup though, like the one that is permanently available, I have to say I am personally a little bit underwhelmed. I just don't find them to look that special or impactful. If I wear glittery nail polish, I want it to be really sparkly and in your face. So that's why in recent years I've kind of been shying away from the Colorful Nails line, just because it doesn't really give me that wow factor in terms of the special finish that I'm looking for. But that changed when I saw this N53 shade. So they released two of these for summer 2021. The other one is a lighter blue shade. I think it's called Blue Lagoon or something. They have these larger, chunkier glitter particles in here. Not so much glitter, it's more like chunkier foil pieces that they really set the two special releases for this summer apart from their generic shimmer formulations in the Colorful Nails line. Yeah, I'm wearing it on my fingers right now and I am really pleased with that chunky glittery effect that I so desire. This actually really reminds me of these Anna Sui nail polishes that I used to hoard back in the day. They came in these little flower shaped bottles. This has a very similar formulation. Of course the Anna Sui is still more stunning and that one had a more impressive variety of glitter pieces in the formula, but this is a pretty good drugstore imitation of that finish, I have to say, especially for the price. I mean, hello, under 400 yen. That's pretty much unheard of even for most drugstore brands in Japan. I might actually even go try and hunt down that blue shade now after being so satisfied with this one. Okay, I just looked it up. That one is called Sparkling Lagoon, not Blue Lagoon. But yeah, now that I know that that one is also going to have the same kind of chunky foiled glitter particles in it, I'm very interested in picking that up as well if I happen to come across it. They only had 3 more bottles left of this one when I was in the store though, so it might already be sold out at this point. I would not be surprised at all. The second item I picked up from Canmake is their Lighting Liquid Eyes Liquid Eyeshadow for Namida Bukuro tear bags in 04. This one is called Milky Sherbet. So I now have all 3 shades available from the Lighting Liquid Eyes line, 01, 02, and 04. And I will show you all of the swatches on the screen here for just so you can get a comparison. Yes, it goes from 01 to 02 to 04, skipping over 03 for whatever reason. I don't know why. It kind of bothers me, I'm not gonna lie, because I'm just wondering like what happened to 03? Was that some sort of botched fuzzy lipstick Jaclyn Hill type of lab experiment gone wrong? Give us the 411 on Project 03, Canmake. Like, what are you trying to hide from us? Conspiracy, anyone? No, but I picked this one up because this one is like, well, you can see it's a stark white color as compared with the first 2, which are more on the natural pinky and beigey side. It's still very, very subtle. It's very semi-sheer, and once you blend it out, or depending on how much you blend it out, you can kind of control how bright it is. It's not like the best tear bag highlighter, but I do appreciate the thicker consistency, kind of Vaseline-like in consistency, but not as oily as Vaseline, so don't worry, it's not gonna be like an oily smudgy mess all over your eyes. But it is very subtle, so you do have to make sure you kind of finesse it, or maybe add on 2 or 3 layers if you want it to show up more boldly. I picked this one up because I still think I have a little bit of a summer tan, like ever so slightly left over. It's not even so much a tan as it is just like a warmth to my skin tone that is not there in the winter months. So I wanted something that would just show up undeniably brighter against my skin. The 02 and 0 shades work just fine as well, but I find that they are almost like too close to my skin tone right now, to the point where it pretty much blends in completely, which kind of defeats the purpose of trying to highlight your tear bag area. So yeah, I'm glad to have this one on hand. This is really just like one of those safety everyday makeup items. You know, it's not going to give you anything super shiny or blinding or anything like that. It's just like a reliable, subtle little everyday touch of highlight that I think we all need in our rotation, because not every day can be a full glam roll out the red carpet day, right? Okay, next on my list I have this new shading powder by Cezanne. Canmake and Cezanne are like my 2 original OG loves of the drugstore, right? So this is a newer face contour powder from Cezanne. They call it the Natural Matte Shading Powder, and they only had 2 shades available. 01, the warm tone, which is what I have here, and 02, which they call the cool tone. I do find it slightly perplexing because, to me personally, if you just look at both shades side by side, they both look like they're tailored for cooler toned skin, in my opinion. Like 01, even though it's been dubbed the warm tone out of the 2, it still looks very much on the grayish cool toned spectrum to me. The only reason I picked this shade over the 02 is because 02 looks straight up purple to me, so I was kind of nervous, like if I use that to shade my face, is it gonna make me look like I have some sort of weird bruising? So yeah, I went to 01, not so much because it's warm toned like they claimed, but just because this seemed like the safer shade of the 2. And yeah, I'm really enjoying it so far. I have it on my face right now. I don't know if you can tell. I'm really, really impressed with the finish of this powder. It has that really beautiful, realistic, skin-like natural sheen that I feel like Japanese face products are great at creating that finish. Whether it be blush products, all over face powders, or shading powders like this one, I find that a lot of the Japanese drugstore brands, they just deliver this really nice, smooth, sheen-like finish. It's not powdery or dry like I find a lot of Western brands, even the higher end brands sometimes. The reason I'm not a big fan of most face powders from Western brands is because they have not quite managed to master that smooth sheen-like effect that a lot of Japanese powders have managed. I don't even know if it's a matter of not having the technology. It might just be a cultural thing, because this is something that very, very affordable Japanese drugstore brands have been known for a long time. We're talking decades here. Powders that just give you this really smooth, mattified but still moisturized looking finish. It's pretty much been a standard for Japanese and many other Asian makeup brands, so I don't know if it's a matter of Western brands not having the technology, or them just not really culturally not pursuing that, you know, smooth porcelain doll like glass skin type of effect that is so popular here in Asia. But in any case, I am loving this powder so far. I'm actually really happy that I picked this up on a whim because, to be honest, I think it's about time that I swap out my UR Glam shading powder for something that I like the finish a lot better. The UR Glam powder, I mean, I've been using it just because it's there and it's cheap. I didn't necessarily want to go out of my way to spend more money on a shading powder, but to be honest with you, I don't really particularly love this formula. Now that I have this Cezanne powder, I realized that there were a lot of things with the UR Glam powder that I was putting up with that were really not necessary. Definitely has that classic, like, I guess you could say Western style dry powdery finish that I really don't like, and I think the color as well, if I'm not too careful, especially if I use it on my nose contour, it can look really muddy really easily. So I think it's time for me to say goodbye to this one. It was okay as a temporary stand-in, but now that I have the Cezanne, I'm much more inclined to use this on a daily basis. Plus this one comes with a really nice handy dual-ended brush. This brush is actually pretty soft. It doesn't poke my skin at all. It's actually really soft and pretty high quality considering that it came with the compact. So that's also another huge plus point for me because I don't know about you guys, but contour is usually like the first step that I skip whenever I run out of time to do my makeup. It'll be really nice to actually have this in my makeup bag with me so that I have the option to actually throw on some contour on the go, just to give me that extra little snatched face, you know, if I need a little extra bit of confidence in any situation. I feel like, why not? Any product that's gonna make it easier for me to do that in my daily life, they're invited to the party, okay? Oh my god, I took like a 5-hour break and now it's nighttime and I'm sweaty and smelly, like, ugh. I'm sorry, did I really just do that on camera? No, it was like 32 degrees Celsius today, so super hot and humid. And yeah, anyway, we're back now. Where did I leave off? Oh, okay, so the next thing I got, this was really just one of those like, I'm a crow and I like shiny objects type of moments. This is the Duo Pocket Glitter Shadow by Peripheral in Salted Sugar Plum. Peripheral, that's such a fun, bouncy brand name. Much like everything else I've showed in this video, this was completely not on my radar. I just happened to come across a corner where they had these out on display. Looking at the price, I actually thought it was a really good deal for two like super high impact, shiny, blinding glitter shadows. So in Japan, it retails for 880 yen. This is of course originally a Korean brand, Peripheral. I only vaguely know of the name. I've never really gone out of my way to check them out, but I have seen this name floating around quite a bit, and yeah, I actually was really pleasantly surprised when swatching these in the store. They are super blinding, super adhesive to the skin. I don't want to say sticky because it's not sticky in the glue-like sense where it's all like icky and it feels like it's clogging up your pores, but it's kind of like where, you know, when you're at the beach and right when you come out of the water, if any part of your body touches the sand will just stick to it and it's like really hard to get it off. That's the type of adhesiveness I'm talking about here. So like normally I actually tend to avoid really huge chunky glitter particles like this, mostly for the fact that it's just not like, I'm not confident that it's going to stay on my skin, and I'm afraid, especially if I use it on my eyelids, I'm afraid it's gonna flake off, fall into my eye, cut my eyeball into a million pieces and accidentally cause permanent eyesight loss. I don't know. But the fact that this glitter actually sticks onto your skin so strongly, like when I was swatching this in the store initially, I could not get this off of the back of my hand with a tissue alone. I had to actually come home and, you know, scrub it with makeup remover solution, and then finally I was able to remove it. That was actually really impressive and unexpected, and you can see I'm wearing it on my eyes right now. I couldn't help myself. I'm wearing both colors. So this one over here, I mean, both of them are like really blinding, as you can see from the swatches, but it's surprisingly, once I have it on my lids and my skin, like I took some of the chunkier glitter onto my cheeks as well, surprisingly it's not as loud and gaudy as you would think it would be. It may have something to do with the actual reflect colors of the glitters in this particular duo. It's actually pretty light and it's like multicolored, but they're very light pastel almost. So maybe that's why it doesn't look as tacky or gaudy as I thought it would, which is a good thing. I actually have half of mine to wear this into work tomorrow because I don't know, I'm sick of playing it safe when it comes to work, and I feel like in actuality people would not care. In fact, they would probably secretly like it. So yeah, maybe I should take this as a sign to just bless everyone with my extra glittery presents tomorrow. Oh, and just for comparison purposes, I took some swatches of ColourPop's Rainbow Sprinkles quad from their ice cream collection. This was from an older order, but I just wanted to see how the glitter formula compared to this Peripheral brand, which I'm very, very satisfied with here. The shadow on the left, which is called Sweet Delights, this is the one with the like the finer milled glitters. This is very comparable, I think, to the ColourPop Super Shock formula, although in my opinion I actually think it's the other way around. I think ColourPop is the one that be copying. So yeah, let's not even phrase things that way from now on. Let's not say that something reminds me of ColourPop. It's the other way around, okay? ColourPop's new formulas and packaging remind me of K-beauty brands, because that's exactly what they're doing. They're imitating K-beauty. Not that that's necessarily a bad thing. I mean, it would be nice if they would acknowledge it publicly, but you know, just to set the record straight on this channel, because you know that's what we're all about over here, okay? So nobody get it twisted.
Pay your rent and stay in your bum ass place. Oh.
But yeah, the Rainbow Sprinkles quad. So I was actually expecting this to be like not as sticky or not as adhesive, but I was pleasantly surprised. It does have a more like emollient base than I was expecting at first. It is kind of similar to a lot of the K-pop glitter formulas that are out these days, but I have to say, still not quite up to par. I still think the K-pop brands do it better. Again, it's not bad by any means. In fact, it exceeded my expectations. Like at first, I didn't even know if I would be comfortable putting these on my lids because I was just expecting them to be really dry and flaky, but they're not bad. Adhesive enough for me to feel safe putting them on my lids, but still falls slightly short in my opinion when it comes to a lot of Korean makeup brands, including this gem that I'm really glad I found from Peripheral. So I'm really tempted to pick up the other duos that are available right now, but I think I need to just calm down and maybe use this one a few more times to see if I really am ready to call it a ride or die, or if I'm just going through like another phase of wanting to put glitter all over my face. Okay, so as usual, I feel like this video is getting way too long. I'm going to just try and speed through the last two items that I purchased. So the first one is this Watery Puff by Philly Millie, another Korean brand, although the puff itself is made in China. I just wanted another face puff, and I like the flat edge here. Mostly I wanted a puff with a flat edge, and actually as I'm feeling it now in my hand, this is a little stiffer than I prefer. I was hoping it would be the same kind of what's it called, like softness as the Yusuke Kawakita sponge, which I have here. This is from NB, Yusuke Kawakita's brand. But yeah, this one is like really super soft and squishy. This one is a little bit stiffer, which is not my favorite, but I did want the straight edge. So anyway, it says here on the description, I'm not sure if I'm quite understanding this correctly, but it says that there is water particles or some sort of like built-in watery ingredient into the sponge itself. So it doesn't say to soak it in water before you use it with your foundation or whatever, although I'm sure you can. It says that there's actual like water ingredients infused into the sponge, which I'm not sure what that means, to be quite honest. I didn't even know that was possible. Yeah, I'm kind of confused. Someone please enlighten me.
Water itself is gay.
Has anyone else used this sponge? It seems to be really popular these days, Philly Millie. This was actually not that cheap. It was 900 yen for a single sponge. They had another, like a 3 sponge pack set for 2,000 yen or something, but I wanted to just get the single first in case in case it doesn't work out for me. Hopefully I like it. I'll let you guys know if it's a complete fail. Don't worry, I'll warn you so that you can save your money. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little turned off because of the initial stiffness, because I just personally, I really prefer a softer, squishier sponge. Whatever, I'm stuck with it now because I actually got glitter on it by accident from swatching the eyeshadows. Last item is the Rimmel Royal Vintage Eyes in 020 Botanical Khaki. I love that name. This is a limited edition that they came out with for summertime, and it also came with a free little mini 2-pack brush set. which is very handy. I've actually never tried anything from Rimmel's Royal Vintage Eyes line, believe it or not. I don't know why it's taken me this long to try out this line. I've tried many different color variations of their Chocolat Sweet Eyes. It's like a much thinner compact with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 colors, I believe. Yeah, I tried many color variations of that, and I feel like I've never really truly been able to give any of those like a 5 out of 5 stars. So maybe that's why I was unconsciously hesitant about branching out to any other eyeshadow products by Rimmel. But now that I'm looking at this, I feel like I have a better feeling about this than the Chocolat Sweet Eyes. I do like the way they swatched on my hands. I mean, I haven't tried it on my eyes yet, so I can't say anything definitive about the performance of this formula yet, but even just as far as the layout goes, this is much more like comfortable and satisfying to me to have it in this straightforward like 4-pan layout. They're still relatively small pans, but compared to the Chocolat Sweet Eyes range, which is actually can be quite frustrating to work with, even regardless of the formula, just because of the tiny size of the pans, especially the two at the bottom. It's like you can barely get any brush in there. But yeah, just the pan size alone for this one, it's already more psychologically satisfying to me, if that makes sense. Plus, I do think the packaging and the compact is very nice and elegant. It does fit with the whole Royal Vintage name. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it there with my thoughts on this palette because I don't want to say too much right now. I'm actually planning to do another video with this palette as well as another similarly color themed palette by a more expensive brand, and I want to kind of compare how similar or different they look on each eye. So I'm planning on doing another like one palette on each eye type of video, and then I can have you guys guess which one is which. I haven't done one of those in a while, and I feel like those are always really fun for me to film as well as for the viewer too. Sometimes the end result is very surprising. There's a lot of times where the cheaper product actually turns out looking better than the more expensive product. With that, I'm going to end this video here. I hope you guys enjoyed the swatches. I hope this was helpful if you are thinking of picking up any of the items that I introduced today. Thank you so much for watching as usual, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!